Well, let's escape some reality and hit to the trails, my friends. Let's go to them hills and find them treasures.
Fuck
All
yeah.
right, it's finally here, guys. I'm sorry it took so long. Life is a bitch, so
I'm just happy we're
bitches tend to
doing it,
flock.
honestly. And I brought all my boys with me, all my treasure hunting hoes.
Yeah, fuck
So,
yeah. I'm glad
yeah,
you did.
we're going to find some treasure today.
We're gonna find some shit.
Love the hat, by the
All
way.
right. Oh, dude, fuck yeah, dude. I've had this since I was like a fucking child.
It's wow.
Got it from my neighbor,
Still fits.
and I mean, vaguely, but yeah.
Sick.
I did, like it used to have a leather insert on the inside that like was way too tight and like falling apart.
Oh, yeah.
So I just took that out and
Nice.
outfits just a little loose, but it's the job done.
Sick. Sick.
Yeah, fucking love this thing.
So I'll do the
All right,
intro, man. Yeah, haven't done it in a while. this is
right? It's been a
It's
minute.
been a minute. This is the A2J podcast. I'm your host, Axel. This is my co-host, John.
What up, homies? Welcome back. It's been a minute. Hopefully you missed us. We missed you guys,
Yeah, definitely.
kinda. I don't know nobody, so kinda.
But the legendary treasure hunting episode.
Yes, it's been in the works since December.
Yeah. Well, at least you got a better track record than my what was it? The deep dive on that fucking video game. I forget. What was it?
But dude, that deep dive is literally that would have been a multi-part series. That would have been hundreds of hours of research. Like even you could have like literally just been like, I'm gonna do the beginning of it and still had hours of talking time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But this is
And hey, never say never.
yeah, maybe at the end of this year. Guys,
Hey man.
just wait till December. if we if we get 100 subscribers.
Subscribers. Yeah, let's do that. If you get 100 subscribers, you will do your deep dive on space, galaxy, whatever.
Yeah, space game, $7 million space game.
Another space game.
No, it's more than that. It was
Goddamn.
like 700 million or some shit. But yeah, anyways,
We digress.
just like the 700 million, just like the treasures we might find with these stories John has prepared.
All right, guys. Sit next to the campfire next to us. Pull up a hot drink and listen closely. Let's have a good night. Imagine you find yourself in a thicket, overgrown jungle. Hacking away foliage. I always suck at this word. Hacking away vegetation. All right, fucking
Yeah, reset.
cut
reset.
this. Reset. Imagine you find yourself in a thick, overgrown jungle. Hacking away vegetation as you pull out a long forgotten map to check your bearings as you make your way to a gilded city lost to time. Or you're in a blistering hot, barren desert, digging for a tomb of a long speculated pharaoh. Salty wind blows through your hair as you use binoculars to scan the horizon to spot an island whose surrounding reefs are rumored to be the final resting place of a sunken galleon. Stumble your way around loose gravel in a dried riverbed, hoping it leads to an abandoned gold mine. Those of us who grew up watching movies like Treasure Island, The Goonies, The Mummy, minus The Mummy, or heard of stories of pirate legends like Sir Francis Drake, Captain Kidd, and Edward Teach, have been obsessed with finding lost treasures. As a young kid, I always searched the empty fields behind my house, between subdivisions, dried riverbeds that had been diverted to create man-made ponds. I was trying to find something that someone of importance lost long ago. Something special just waiting to be found by the right person. The one who dug a little bit deeper or searched a little longer. The allure of bringing what was once lost or hidden back to the light of the world has always been one of the greatest thrills. What I hope to share with you all here today is a glimmer of adventure that we have mostly lost as adults in this time. I want to inspire you to get out, to find some lost treasure, and hopefully continue to share stories of many different legends and others of lost treasure. Let's have a good night.
Did you ever find like anything cool when you were a kid, like hunting around?
Depends on when you mean cool. Like, I always found like stupid things like golf balls
Yeah.
and like maybe like a lost, like, yeah, no, nothing really. And stuff like nothing extremely cool, like maybe like a cool rock or something like that, but nothing to write home about.
I always remembered going to like Campfire West back when there was a bunch of like quartz crystals and stuff.
Yeah.
And we would always like just like go searching on the banks and filling our pockets full of them and stuff and just being like, we'll take them all home and be like, oh, what type of crystals are these? You know,
Quartz.
yeah, it's just quartz. And we had dial-up internet, so like the ability to even like search it up was like very limited. So
Oh, even like just like the search engines we had, like you couldn't do what you do in Google nowadays. It's like I found cool rock with see-through things. What is it? And you
yeah,
have these thousands of people saying it. It's like you'd have to go to a rock hounding forum of some sort
yeah.
and ask them or somehow upload a picture if you know how to do that. And then they would have to either figure it out and tell you, or you'd have to go look up in this thing we call books.
What?
Speaking of books, I have two of them today that I got our stories from, so I do just kind of want to go over those before we get into it.
Please,
The
please.
bulk of this is Lost California Treasures by W. Craig Gaines.
Mm.
This one right here, if you all can see.
Awesome. California treasures. Wow.
It's a really good one. He
Yeah.
actually goes by counties.
Oh, does he?
So, yeah, so you
Okay.
can actually search up by the different counties and be able to find out which ones that you live by.
That's pretty sick.
And then I do have an excerpt here on Sir Francis Drake, and a lot of that I got from History of Pirates by Nigel Cawthorne.
Hmm.
This is a really good one I've had for a long time. It goes into a really extensive history about pirates,
Very
if you
cool.
couldn't tell by the book. But yeah, so I do have a few stories here. Do we want to start off with the big banger, or do we want to go with the little guys first and then end on the big guy?
You decide.
Oh, I decide. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Do all the work. No, I got it. So we'll start with the little guys first. We'll start off the quick ones, kind of the nice and easy ones, and then
Okay.
we'll end on the two bigger ones.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So the first one we're going to start off with is known as the Lost Native American Mine out in Butte County. So the story takes place over to Butte County as a Native American miner comes into Orville with a bag of gold nuggets. He claims his mine could make 50 men rich for life. Just, he's in a bar just telling this. He's just like,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, I have a mine that can make 50 men rich. Like, he's not telling anybody in general. Yeah, he's just telling this to the world.
Yeah. It's like the one drunk guy that you see at a bar when you're just trying to relax and have a drink and you just know he's going to start talking at people, you know?
But that's the thing. Like, I don't get this from that guy. Like, he's not the drunk, like, is like talking at you. He's the guy that just comes in, like, gets a drink. He's like, by the way,
Yeah.
I have a mine.
Whew, these gold nuggets sure are heavy. And I got
Make 50
so much
people
more in
rich.
my mind.
I know. God damn, if only there were some white people that could help me out
Yeah.
here. So either people like would follow him, like prospectors, like would either like be led there by him. Like this is what I'm got from the story. Like not too much goes into it,
Hmm.
but he would just walk toward his mine and then just disappear.
Just disappear like smoke in the woods.
just like they would be following him either by his invite or trying to just like stalk him,
Oh.
and then he would just be gone. So like my whole thing is like after that they would be either forced to return to town or just be lost out in these woods for whoever knows fucking how long, because he's just like pulling them out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was fucking with them, and I think it's great.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's fucking awesome that he's just like, you know what, this is how I'm gonna get back at motherfuckers and not have to like get in trouble, because I'm like alluring them with gold. It's
Yeah.
their own fucking greed that they're getting in trouble. Fuck white man and their greed.
Yeah, he's like peacocking and stuff, but it just a prank. Dude,
Yes.
OG prankster.
Right? So after he would lead them off, they would be forced to return to town and try again the next time you came into town for supplies. So this wasn't like a one-time thing. This is like a thing that happened many times. And during this, so one of the trips, he when he got to Orville, he died of an illness. No one knew why or what illness it was. Just he just passed away there.
Sucks.
This left everyone speculating where his mind was, so they were all
Yeah.
kind of freaking out. And so no one knew what tribe this was from. I know, like, so there was a Cherokee mine just north, I believe, of Orville,
Hmm.
or it's like right around the surrounding areas that they believed that he was from, or the town of Cherokee.
Okay.
Like, if you know where that is, that's where Cherokee mine was. It went from Cherokee mine into Cherokee.
I mean, that sounds like
But
the best bet, to be honest.
But that's the thing, is like they didn't know if he was Cherokee or not, because that was the one thing about Cherokee. It was set up by those that came over from the Midwest to try to start their own mining claim.
Oh, okay. So when you say Cherokee mine, that's not the name of the mine. It's the Cherokee claim on the mine.
But that was also the name of the mine as
Oh,
well.
okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
why thinks
No,
too hard about a name, honestly?
no, seriously, and especially because it was like they came over from there. Because I know there, I wish I had it written down. I think I have it somewhere.
Okay.
But of the tribe that was in the Orville area
Hmm.
that it could have been. But I have a lot of different things.
It's all
A
good.
lot of stuff takes place in that area, so we might hit on to it in later times.
Cool. What I'm thinking is that there's two possibilities here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there could be the third, which is actually this is a like actually happened, and this dude was like messing with these white settlers and
So yeah, this was actually going to be my next set of my questions I was going to ask you.
oh, sick.
One, yeah, do you think this was real? Two, do you think that he was just fucking with him, or did he actually have a real mind and they just couldn't keep up with him
Hmm.
and get there? Or was this just all fabricated?
Yeah. So from those, I what I think is the number one thing that is true is that there's some pranks going on. Okay. Whether
Uh,
and so it's either that he was a real person coming in and like goofing on these white boys and telling them about some mine with a bunch of gold and all, oh man, if you guys, oh, if only I had help. And then he just like leads them astray in like some like deep country, or it's just like the the white dudes were just like coming up with a tale, like a tall tale. But what was that last question?
the last one, like if it was even real at all, or if it was just like a story somebody just like made up, but for like what reason?
Yeah.
But yeah, we could move on from that last question because it was not a good one, and move on to one that I believe that you actually told me about. It is the Chinese miners' gold, or Cooley Chinese mine.
I can't believe you found this because I
Yes.
was on like Google Maps looking around for the town that I had seen and then looked up because I was like, that's such a cool name. It was like when
Yeah.
way back in the day I did this and found this story, but like I couldn't find it again.
Well, I got it. So, unfortunately, this is a not so fun story. So, we're going to have to put on our adult pants and realize this was not a right time in our country, but unfortunately it was a foundation time for this side of the country.
Yeah.
Like, this is what it was founded on. It happens. We have to acknowledge it and be better about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, the bitter truth of our state's history: in the 1870s, in El Dorado County near Volcanoville, Chinese miners found a 10-ounce chunk of gold on their claim. 10 ounces is a fucking chunk, dude. Like, it's like
Yeah. Big
like,
old nugget.
don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's a fucking baseball sized nugget.
Oh shit, that's huge.
Like, so
I didn't realize that,
local,
honestly.
I say I'm pretty sure it might be a little bit smaller than that, but it's a good like palm size.
Yeah, yeah.
And so like finding a nug that big just like out there is pretty fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could only imagine like going out to some random ass forlorn place out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere in Volcanoville. Like, I don't know if you ever been out there. No, thank you.
Yeah.
And been out in the cuts to like where you find a random ass river or a random ass mine that they're digging, and then dig your ass to find a fucking just nugget or find it loose, like just in the fucking dirt. Like, imagine that. Like, you're just digging and then you're just like,
Oh fuck.
I don't want to be fooled if fool's gold's around, because that's a fucking thing. Fucking pyrite. And then you go, yeah. Oh fuck. Jeff. So they found this 10-ounce chunk of gold on their claim. The local whiteys got their big old panties in a bunch and drank themselves into a frothy, drunken stupor. Believing that they had a hidden stash on their property, these men corralled the Chinese miners, locked them in their cabin, and burned them all alive.
Dude.
The ones who escaped the blazing cabin were quickly gunned down. The murderous mob found nothing in the surrounding area.
Dude, yeah.
That was it. Literally killed these guys for a 10-ounce piece of gold, and then nothing.
Thinking that there was a stash by just hearsay.
Not even hearsay, that they were in their own echo chamber telling them what they wanted to hear.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Like,
but
they went, yeah. It's literally one just be like, oh, if they have 10 ounces, they must have more. If they're only showing that, they fucking must have more. Them Chinese, man, they're fucking good at digging. That's one thing we know. Look at them railroads.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man. I do remember reading that, and yeah, it's just as shitty the second time.
So, while we're still under that kind of, that was the story, there is a few other noteworthy tales. That there was a group of 12 Chinese miners that lost their lives in a mine collapse near Middle Fork of the American River. Their camp was never found, leaving many to speculate whether they had hidden caches in the area. Another one. There was another story about a shopkeeper that sold his shop in Volcanoville to return to China. However, he returned many years later in search of a gold stash he had left. A fire had torn through the town and altered the terrain, and he returned many times but never was able to find it. And this was like his own story. So like that was like him like being like, okay, I'm gonna leave this here, go back to China because Volcanoville sucks, and go back home for a while, and then come back and get the gold, and then but didn't hear about the fire, so came back and everything he knew of like where he put it was gone.
Yeah.
So he had no idea. And dude, like, could you imagine that? Like, you're just like, all right, dog, I put $5,000 in my old house backyard by that old tree that's always there.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you go talk to your parents. You haven't spoken to them in 2 months or couple years, you know, because it's 1870s. So you don't speak to people.
Yep.
No one was there to even tell you about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, by the way, we moved and sold it, and they demolished it, and now there's a Target parking lot there.
That's
It's like,
so
fuck. So
funny.
either one, that construction crew found something.
Yeah, it's so fucked. Especially just thinking like this guy, he went back to China and
Hmm.
then comes back to retrieve the treasure. In that time, that's such an arduous journey. Like
Yeah,
he must have been through so much hardship to go through all that just to come to the town that's burnt down now or like completely different, and it's just like
yeah,
fuck. I imagine it is like holes where he's just he comes out there with a shovel every day and digs in one spot for a couple hours and
yeah.
it's just like
He's like,
fuck.
I know my shop was around here. Like, there's the base of my shop foundation.
Yeah.
I know that's that. So
Did
that way,
did it say if he buried it or if he just put it like hid it in the
he,
shop?
I think he buried it. Is some like because it didn't say anything about the shop or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because like I imagine there would be some sort of foundation still even after a fire.
Okay.
Like unless he just couldn't even find his house out there either. But I swear like the town was still like you could know where the town was, but it's just that all the terrain was different, so he couldn't find his way out into the woods to where he found
Yeah.
buried it.
I
Like that was my understanding from it.
From what I remember reading about Volcanoville once, like, because I do remember them talking about how the town got shaped, and now the only thing left is like some like decrepit, like remnants of a building, and then like
Mm-hmm.
a it's not even like it's not even like a male uh room or anything. It's just like the remnants of like a male lean-to, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So like, who knows? Like, it's been a minute since I've been out in that area, so like, I can't remember exactly. But I just knew it was shit out there.
Yeah. Well, that
But
sucks for that guy. uh
yeah. So
like,
what do we overall take for these stories? Yeah.
um
One,
wh-
a group of white people suck ass.
yeah, whiteys have been on the bad side of history for a long time.
Yeah, not wrong there. It's
Um
like we just got to, like I said, acknowledge it,
yeah.
do better.
The second thing is there could be a chance that that gold stash is still there. Hmm.
I mean, there's three different chances because who knows? Maybe those first guys were right and they did have a stash somewhere up in them
Oh,
in that cabin.
maybe. Now this is speculation and just
Nothing but.
taking kind of glomming the two stories together. What if so this shopkeeper was like, "Oh shit, these white boys are getting crazier and crazier each day. Something bad's going to happen. I'm going to stash my gold and, hightail it back to China. I'll come back after like, the town is calmed down." And then the events that of them like getting drunk and like just murdering everybody, uh that happens because they're like, oh, we heard about the shopkeeper's stash, you guys know something about it, and
Oh,
then
fuck,
years
dude.
later he comes back.
Oh, fuck. Maybe it was. He's like, oh, you guys are all Chineses.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you guys are all family, right? So you guys must know.
Yeah, you,
Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, shit, dude. You just connected it and this boils down to racism.
yep, it's
Who
always
would have
racism
thought?
with us. God, white people
Black
suck.
people suck. God damn it.
uh was last question, I think. Was there any like timeline in the stories? Like, did they give dates or anything?
Uh, just no like real dates. The first one was in the 1870s.
Okay.
So at least we have an era.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, so we can move on to a little bit better note of Shelter Cove gold.
Okay.
So this one takes place in Shelter Cove, up by me, a little bit norther of me.
No,
You
I
know,
like that.
directional.
Norther.
trust us to lead you away in the woods. Follow me. Let's go in the northern direction.
And I'll go souther.
We got our directions handled. We got this. Never eat soggy waffles. All right. So, an unknown steamboat headed to the San Francisco Mint was carrying gold coins and crashed near present day Shelter Cove, a hidden pocket along the Lost Coast where the people are just as rugged as the landscape. A group of renegade whites and Native Americans looted the wreck and hid the gold under a tree marked with the ship's bell. Shortly after, though, soldiers supposedly attacked and killed most of the renegades, leaving some women and children alive. But with killing them, they lost the spot. Didn't know where it was.
Dummies.
But some years later, the ship bell was found by deer hunters.
Oh.
But since nobody survived in the Renegades, no one knew the original story. So these deer hunters didn't know that there was 100 pounds of gold right underneath their feet.
Fuck.
Oh, but they did hear about the story much later. They returned, but never had any luck of finding the tree again.
So they heard of the story, but how?
No, so it was from one of the the wives or children and stuff. Like they must have kept it from them, or like somebody must have survived to be able to tell it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the renegades or whoever survived that wasn't going to tell the soldiers that just killed all their husbands and shit.
Yeah.
They're going to hold that. It probably was one of the kids, a boy that grew up a little bit and heard somebody's oh yeah, I found this shit bell and had it in their bar or something like that.
Yeah.
And the kid's wait, where the fuck did you find that? And he's oh, I found it in this tree. He's did you dig by the tree by chance? No. Should have. My daddy told me that there was 100 pounds of gold in there. And that sounds like any kind of Shelter Cove story I have ever heard.
Yeah, that's that makes me wonder if that story makes sense, that maybe a son, daughter, or wife later on was well, I'll get a posse together to find the gold or something, and then returning back but just not able to find it.
That, or it could have been a story that the renegade, the people that took it, told them, being oh, yeah, we found all this gold and stuff. We're going to keep it out here until things cool down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's we're going to be rich and stuff. And they're oh, sure, Dad, we're going to be rich. You and Jim Bob and Jeff Bob and Mike all found this gold.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah, you guys are doing great. And then just this tall tale, and then he's no, we put a bell in front, to where it was, so it'll be good in the ship spell. They name the ship or whatever's on it, and the kids are yeah, sure, Dad. And then years later, all of a sudden they see a ship bell with that name on it, and it just fucking clicks oh fuck, it was real.
Shit. Yeah.
Oh fuck, my dad was not telling crazy stories for once.
So
too bad he got shot in the liver.
Did anyone find the steamboat?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the steamboat hasn't been found. I was the Lost Coast has a lot of shipwrecks. I think it might have, but they don't know where anything went from it.
Yeah.
Because looking through it, because it was an unknown name.
Which
no one knew what it was.
That's crazy to me as well. They don't know that boat's name, but it's carrying San Francisco Mint. Oh, yeah. Headed to the San Francisco Mint. Okay, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bigger to-do type situation.
No, that's one thing too. I thought it was going from the San Francisco Mint to go somewhere else, but no, it was carrying coins to it. Yeah. So it was all in marked gold, from my knowledge.
Okay. I still feel like there'd be some sort of log about it, but
and there could have been. It's just been lost to time. Yeah. I was because the San Francisco fire, so it could have been lost in that.
Oh yeah.
Paper records. That's one thing about them; they burn pretty easily.
Yeah, that's what.
That and they just get damaged.
Yeah, something I keep thinking about is we're we're at this point where the previous generation of like, old frogs are, you know, dying, faster than we want, but like all these people have like a lot of like untold history. So I feel like we're getting some sort of like recorded, uh you know recording older generations stories could be very helpful in like kind of piecing together things, because like I feel that when we read stories like this, that if a lot of these people had journals and just recorded their day-to-day lives, dude, we would have like had way more insight into like, and be able to fact check things.
Oh yeah. No, it's yeah. No, I feel it. It's like even nowadays, like how many times do you write down in your journal?
Never. I don't- Never.
Exactly. We got at least we got this.
Yeah.
So like at least we got like some kind of like recording, but like I feel it. Like imagine back then, like the literacy was fucking bonkers to where it's like most people couldn't even write.
Yeah, they were writing in wingdings, bro.
No, dude, wingdings, fucking shorthanded English of what they thought how things were spelled.
Hmm.
Like so, it's like it could just be one of those things where it's like I don't know. I'm glad we kind of didn't at the same time. Like it would be nice if we did have a little bit more written record of certain things.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like especially like this shit. It's like tell me where your treasure's at. Write
Yeah.
that shit down.
Yeah.
But then again, it would have been found by now
Right. But
if it had already been written.
some things would just be like, I'm not exactly this, like, because it has to deal with like large amounts of money, so nobody's gonna like write that down because they don't want other people to take it.
No.
But things like I got into finding out about like old roads, how they were
Mm-hmm.
built, why they were built, and some roads are just going into like random areas that have nothing going for them, but there's still history behind it, but there's nothing written down about that. So it's just that kind of stuff is interesting, and I just wish that there were more records of things.
I feel it. I was like, one thing my partner's been doing is like reading like I can't remember their names, but they're like the history books about towns in certain areas,
Hmm.
which is super cool. You'd probably really enjoy those.
Yeah, she
To
was
where
telling me
we,
about it, and I kind of want to pick up some of the books as well.
dude, you should because like it goes into a lot. Like the one thing is that you have to worry about is the authors that write them. They're all different,
Mm.
and like one of them was terrible. She was like, "Dude, you do better at writing this than she did." And like this like would talk about certain things that just had nothing to do about what she was supposed to be talking about.
Oh, ugh.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like learning how like Navarro was like a small town and stuff like, and then the beach like pretty much that you can go and camp on was like a super small town. Like the inn's right there. It used to have a bridge that would go across the river, and you could actually see where it was.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
like it's super cool. And then especially since like you have the old highway or the old like stagecoach roads that you can still see like their imprint in the grass throughout here.
Yeah, that's
And
sick.
like, yeah, so it's like just seeing that kind of stuff is crazy because even though it's like 200 years old, I think it's like 18 something that this place was found.
Hmm.
So like it's still crazy, or not 200. Oh yeah, just shy,
Yeah.
whatever. But I digress. But yeah, it's that's one thing I do love about like I love history, and then if we don't learn from it, we are doomed to repeat it as we fucking are. I, I it's happening again, but I'm just some jack off that just has a podcast. So listen to me because I know what I'm talking about.
I'm just gonna start writing down stuff in my journal.
Dude, no, one thing I do want to get like my dad is get him like one of those. Have you seen the dad journals? Like
No.
tell me your story. So I've seen these around, and it's just literally like a tell me your story journal, and it's a prompt journal that you can go through, and it's just like, tell me about this time in your life, tell me about this, and I really would love to get one for both my parents,
Yeah.
and like to actually get their unedited story. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, don't get me wrong, like I hear stories from my parents all the time, but it's different when you're like writing it down, not planning for someone to read it.
Yeah.
Like, because I wouldn't read it until they passed away, but it would be, I think, a really good way to actually like get to know who our parents are as people
Oh yeah,
rather than our parents.
definitely. Because I was like a few years back, I was having a conversation with my dad, and it was just like it was very open and honest about like his past, and he brought up some stuff that happened within his family that I didn't even know about until now, being an adult. That was like kind of fucked up, and I was like, "Oh shit, dog!" Like I didn't even
Yeah.
realize. He's like, "Yeah, we just didn't tell you guys." I was like, "Oh, oh, cool."
Yeah, you're like, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why you yelled at me a lot now. Shit makes sense. You were stressed out like a motherfucker, and I was a little bitch, so I
Yeah.
get it.
I was a little bitch when I was a kid.
Oh, dude, I was. I was a little crybaby.
Yeah, same. I was a little sensitive
100%.
freak.
Hey, man, whatever. I was like, that sensitive freak turned into a kind of well-gested adult.
Yeah, somewhat.
Has somewhat substance problems, but working.
Yeah.
All right, get back to fun time stories. So this actually is the next one is a fun one.
Ooh, hell
So
yeah.
this one is known as Captain Dick's Gold Nuggets.
Oh yeah.
So this one brings us to the great Modoc County,
Okay.
where an Indian captain named Holden Dick
Fuck, dude.
was no. Yeah, this man's name was Holden Dick.
Oh, you'd be bullied so bad.
I don't think so, man. I think he's the one of the type of people that own the name.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? My name's Holden Dick.
Yeah.
Say something about it.
Middle name Big.
So, God damn it, Holden Big Dick. But he was known to come into the town of Alturas and trade gold nuggets for supplies. So, like, that was pretty rare, just to come in every time for supplies and trade gold nuggets. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So his gold mine was rumored to be in a few possible locations. Some said it was in the Warner Mountains, either near Pine Canyon or Patterson Lake.
Mm.
Some thought it was northeast of Eagleville between Pine Valley and Owl Creek. The mine could have been also in Lassen County to the south of it.
So
Captain Dick was it's a few different areas that it could have been
it's
in.
like so
And
anywhere. just say you don't know.
anywhere in that area, anywhere in that at least area.
They're
So
like,
at least it's at least a triangle, so then you can like pinpoint somewhere in there.
yeah, they're like, there's just somebody every once in a while. Somebody says like, actually, you know what? I've seen him in that area. Well, it's gotta be over there then. It's gotta be.
Right?
They just keep
It's
adding
gotta
stuff to
be.
the map, little red dots where he could have hid the treasure.
Just him and three of his twin brothers fucking with people,
Oh my god.
triplets. But so Captain Dick was eventually murdered by a group of vigilantes because he killed two claim jumpers that were on his land. And
Oh
because he
man.
was a native, he got fucked over.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I forget because Holden Dick sounds like
He was,
such a white boy name. I keep forgetting that he was.
but he was also a captain in the military.
Oh,
Like he was, I'm pretty sure part of the cavalry, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have any of that written down, but
okay.
I think he was in the U.S. military.
Yeah, he's captain named Holden Dick.
Captain Dick.
Captain Dick, love it.
But yeah, apparently a sheep herder had apparently stumbled across Captain Dick while working his mine, and later returned after Captain Dick's murder to take some gold for himself. The sheep herder and the captain's wife both vanished soon after his death. So there is speculation that the wife knew where the claim was and went there, got her share, and bounced out of there, or just laid low and stayed in the area and mined the
Yeah.
shaft. But yeah, same thing with the sheep herder. They said those were the only two that were closest to him that possibly could have known where it was. And shortly after his death, they both just kind of
Just dipped.
gone with the wind. So I think they either had something going on,
Yeah. That's
and they
exactly
decided to
where
kill
my mind
Captain
went
Dick
to.
and stole the treasure and interloped.
Yeah. Honestly,
I think that
sounds about right to me.
because Captain Holden, aka Big Dick, probably didn't have a big dick.
What are you saying? What are you trying to say right now about Captain Holden Dick?
I don't want to defame my man, but I think he was a stumpy king.
But you're going to.
But I'm going to.
Yeah. Poor guy.
But I did.
That's
All right.
yeah, honestly, like from that one, yeah, it just sounds like the sheep herder and the wife had something going on and we're just waiting. Maybe they egged on these the yeah, the
Vigilantes.
vigilantes or claim
Or
jumpers.
they could have even, stirred them on themselves, being like, yeah, the sheep herder, they killed my friends that were trying to just mine down the road. You never know what's going to happen. He just shot them dead, pulled out his side piece and just, ba-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, killed them like dogs. And they were white, man. You can't kill them like dogs.
No way.
No way, no how. We don't stand for that. And yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, there wasn't much in about his wife or the sheep herder and who they were. So we can only speculate.
Yeah.
But it could still just be out there waiting for that next person to find a lost mind.
Yeah, the mine might. I mean, like, yeah, the mine's probably still there, right?
Probably. I was like, most mines still are. It's just if they have anything in them.
True.
And if you can find them. That's the hard part, is finding them.
Yeah.
It's like, we're in California, mining capital of the world, of like gold mines and like lost gold mines and those that, came down off them hills with a sack of gold and then forgot where it was because they don't know how to draw a map. Like, you take left at that prickly bush that I took a poop in.
Yeah. Or they're just like, yeah, I marked a tree and then a forest fire wipes it out.
Yeah. Fucking bear comes by and scratches it off. Shit. All right. So with that one, now we're going a little bit further back in time to the high seas. So our story here begins in 1577 with a captain known as El Drake, or the Dragon, to his Spanish enemies due to his violent raids in the Caribbean Sea, Central America, and South America.
Gotta say, badass name.
Dude, for real. Like literally imagine your enemies giving you name the Dragon.
Dude.
It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. You get that name, you're gonna sport out your fucking ship so cool. I'd get pyrotechnics going on that bitch.
What's that ship on the distance? Oh, dude, it looks like
just
that's pretty nuts. Is that fucking fire?
yeah, like a dragon head coming out the and just
That'd be fucking sick. Just fuck, we're fucked.
I'm done.
Can we just throw our shit overboard and just give it to him? Like,
we were almost to the San Francisco Mint. We were so close. Ring that bell.
Not anymore. Fuck. Fuck, for all we know, we could have been.
Yeah.
But, well, this is like much later because that was a steamship.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, true.
It might have been the ghost of Sir Francis Drake.
Oh,
now we're getting to the fucking ghosts. But, so he was hired as a privateer to raid Spanish ships and settlements. I don't know. Do you know the difference between a privateer and pirates?
No, but in elementary school, I was supposed to do a book report on this book called The Privateers, and I read 3 pages of it, and bullshitted my way through it and got an A.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah. They're like, yeah, he spelled things right. Give him pass.
I had to get up in front of the class and explain what happened in the book. I didn't know shit, dog. I read the back of the book and just kind of expanded.
God damn it, dude. The teacher obviously didn't read it either.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a privateer is basically somebody that has their government's permission to not fly any colors and like take over ships and everything like that.
Oh shit.
So they're pretty much a government backed pirate.
God, I should have read that book. Damn. Would have been
Then,
badass.
then pirates are just no government, no affiliation to anything, robbing anybody and everybody.
Fucking anarchy.
Whereas like
bro.
privateers had that code of being like, oh, hey, we're at war with the Spanish. Fuck them up. Do whatever you want to them. You have our like money and our backing, but you don't have our consent in a sense. Like it's like kind of like how nowadays that we have like private mercenary companies.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing.
I bet that could get pretty icky by the end of the like their wars with whoever. Then at the end,
that's literally what brought the golden age of piracy around, is because like all these privateers after this war weren't needed by the government anymore, and they had all these skills of just being warring.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, now what do we do? And stuff like, I'm not going to go fucking live in fucking Plymouth. Fuck that noise. Like,
yeah.
Bitches there suck. I want to go down to the Caribbean and fight, fucking steal my way to death.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like, was there ever? There's probably got to be like when they're done warring and they have like peace treaties or whatever. And then they're like, the privateers are like, well, wait, like, but how about us? Like, we're still here. And they're like, actually, because we didn't consent, or it was like a under the table deal, we actually have a warrant for you.
Yeah, that's how it worked out probably most times.
Yeah.
That, or they're like, oh, hey, like, since you did that, here's a pardon. Like, especially like with someone like Sir Francis Drake, because he was a explorer and such an influential like person.
Okay.
And so like, because I even think that the Spanish like paid homage to him at one point.
Oh.
But I digress. So
so also digress.
But yeah, so that's what the difference between a privateer and a pirate is.
Thank you. I didn't know, honestly.
So, but yeah, he was also looking for the fabled Northwest Passage, which is the like passage up through the northern part of the hemisphere.
Yeah.
Through the ice packs. There supposedly it was passage that would make it quicker to go through, I believe.
Like in the show Terror.
Yes, like the show Terror from AMC.
It's a good show.
Good show. So he left Plymouth, England on December 13th, 1577 with 4 ships and crossed the Atlantic through the Strait of Magellan into the Pacific Ocean. And after many successful raids on the Spanish, Sir Francis Drake accumulated so much treasure they were worried about the ship's weight and the journey back to England. So the crew fucking willy-nilly just threw shit overboard. Wherever.
Now, if there ever was a good problem to have, that would be one of them.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, dude, we got so much gold.
Oh.
Our ship's listing, dog.
Yeah.
We need to throw some of this overboard.
Oh.
Not my cups of gold. Like, I can just imagine everybody just like covered head to toe, like in the crown, jewels and everything, and just like
5 rings on each finger.
just covered and be like, we can't take it all. So yeah, like just all up and down this west coast, they literally just like were just chucking gold.
That's crazy.
Over the side to try to maintain their weight. Yeah, so they tossed it overboard and bury it any chance they had along Central America. Like anytime they stopped, they would put some aside and be like, all right, we'll come back for this shit later.
Just
to never come back for that shit later.
Just all over our coastline.
all over our coastline in Central America.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So like it just the whole entire just West Coast. Yeah, it's nuts to think about because then they would still go to look for uh where was I? They were continuing to look for the Northwest Passage. They were unable to find it. He would return to what now is known as Drake's
Oh.
Bay near Point Reyes, and he would beach his ships there to clean his hulls, repair any damage, and prepare for the long journey back to Plymouth.
No.
They returned in 1580 to Plymouth with one ship and a now very rich crew. There have been many finds reported from Sir Francis Drake's journey, including few teapots near Point Reyes. There are many places where he could have buried his treasure, such as Pirates Bay near Pismo Beach and in Monterey near Pebble Beach. So there's a
Okay.
few things because yeah, they also came back with like 14 bowls of gold each
14
crew member
bowls.
of gold. Yeah, that's how like they like would individualize it out. They would have these two-handed bowls
Oh, okay.
and fill it up, and that would be one share, and each one got 14 shares.
Oh, I didn't know that. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Thought-
yeah. So it was like literally like food shares
yeah.
and stuff. They would literally like fucking a fucking chow line, scoop up some gold, put it in, and then they would just keep on going until, and then like, oh, well, next round you get two bowls.
Yeah.
And then, oh, next round, 14 bowls. So
14.
these men
Oh,
came back rich motherfuckers.
that's crazy. That's so cool.
Dude, imagine that, like going out on a cruise, like you're like us, just going out on a fucking fishing trip or an exploration trip. You're just some guy, don't know how to read, don't know how to fucking swim, most likely. And you are going out on this fucking wide journey to kill Spanish
Yeah.
and find a Northwest Passage. Probably not going to live through most of it. And then you come back just fucking rich. I can only imagine the allure of that lifestyle because of that.
Yeah, because me, I would just be like a pig shit scooper. I like that would be my job on the mainland, and then I hear like, oh, they need a crew put together. I'm like, well, maybe pig shit scooping can transfer into
I can
being
scoop
a
human
waterman or
shit.
something.
Well, that or imagine like that's what you did, and then all of a sudden you heard about fucking your buddy Jeff that went on a like went on that not a cruise by any means,
Yeah,
but went on like a fucking arduous journey, but came back a fucking rich man that can now buy any fucking house he wants.
yeah, yeah,
Like fucking go anywhere, do anything that the guy wants to do, and shit. Like it's just fucking like what the fuck,
oh
dude.
man, I would kill Jeff and scoop him in the pig shit pile so nobody can find him and take those 14 shares.
No, you feed him to the pigs
Yeah, that's true.
because
Yeah, I
pigs can
forget
eat a
about that.
man.
I forget. Gotta chop them up into little bits, feed them to the
He's
pigs.
it's like what 12 hungry pigs could eat a man in 24 hours. You got to remove the teeth and the teeth and the fingers.
Yeah, I would eat
They
those
choke
myself.
on them.
I
All
honestly
this is
didn't
satirical.
I didn't put it together that Drake's Bay was named after like Captain Drake.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, like a lot of that area, like he like not founded, but like just frequented enough that they just named it after him and found enough of his shit there. But yeah, no,
Hmm.
it's crazy like how much of our like shit was based on that time
Yeah.
of like just the founding of it, and it was a pirate too. Like based down to it, he was a mass murdering, robbing guy. But kind of cool.
Yeah. We celebrate him now. No.
Hell yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but I do.
Where's that
Talked about
gold,
him.
Drake? Come on, Drake. Where's that gold?
Well, where's that gold at, motherfucker? I mean, just go diving in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I bet you could find something.
Yeah. So, is there anybody like, any like buddy currently trying to hunt for like the little stashes he put up along the coast?
Oh, I have no doubt that there probably are people. I don't think it's anybody big right now. Like all like the big like hunting, like treasure hunting shows have done like their like little like, oh, let's follow his map and see if we can find anything off of that, and
Yeah.
like really haven't. But I don't think there's been any kind of like big one like fucking Fens, like Fens Gold. Like I don't think there's been a hunt like that lately.
Yeah, yeah. It's harder to because it's just like he hid treasure along a coastline, not marking it or not telling anybody but the crew that knows where it is, you know. It
Yeah, and like they left with 4 ships and only came back with one, so there's a lot of people that got lost during that journey. Yeah, lost to time, and like our coast, it's fucking the like craziest coast out there, one of the craziest coasts, like so rocky, jagged, big swells. Like
yeah, lots of cliffs.
our coast has changed so much because of how violent it is too,
Mhm.
to where it's not even the same that it was back then.
Yeah.
So you have to even put that into account of like it's changed so much to where land was probably like 120 feet out from where it was now because just erosion,
So all that shit could just be underwater right now. That sucks.
right?
Yeah.
Like just maybe 30, 40 feet underneath the ocean water and 10 feet underground, maybe.
Yeah.
That's
Jeez.
one thing that's like kind of crazy nowadays is like the LiDAR detection
Yeah.
is like that is actually like super cool, and I like would love to see more of that kind of stuff because we can actually see into the ground and see what like stuff was there and get a little bit more better reads on where things could be rather than just being like, all right, well, I might die in this trek in the woods to go find something.
Deuce.
See if I see you.
Yeah, that along with we have drones now that you can use, like you can equip with cameras and lidar and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
mean, there's
Just being able to map out your trail, just even having that high visual of being like, okay, like let's see if it's even worth to go into this area.
yeah, yeah,
Like fuck, even just metal detecting would be dope. I've been thinking about that.
yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Honestly, that's something I always kind of like want to do. It like cuz it sounds also really chill just to go out on a little walk, just
Yeah.
metal detect
Beep
and
beep 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 beep
don't
beep
have
beep
to
beep beep
find
beep.
anything like, but it's still interesting, you know?
Yeah, it's like that, and like I mean, you could find someone's lost ring, like that they just lost yesterday on the
Yeah.
beach. Like you can find something that somebody wanted to throw away and not forget, like a fucking like all those like the magnet fisherman.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
like one of our buddies does that. I didn't realize that.
Oh really? That's dope. When that was getting popular, I was also thinking like, dude, it'd be like, oh, just buy the right magnet, get a rope, and just throw it off on the side. But
I've seen too many people pull up like live grenades to not tickle my fancy. I'm
yeah,
cool. I'd rather get like a metal detector and go find something.
yeah, live grenades, fucking tossed away guns and shit.
Yeah, fucking murder weapons. You never know. I'm
Yeah,
good. Dead bodies. I'm cool. I'd rather find a buried body. There's no difference, but
I remember this is a little bit of a tangent, but whenever I think about magnet fishing, I think about this creek we used to fish off of. My dad would drive us out, kind of out in the boonies in Lincoln, and there was just this one creek with a bridge over it. We'd always fish, and I always remember there was a fucking like old school dryer in the water, like in the middle of the creek. You'd fish around there because there'd be like a catfish, like, you know, or bass hunkered down by it, but I mean, that's what I think magnet fishing is what you'd get. Just people throwing over their trash into creeks.
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, no, that's where I what I get from it is like you're just finding old shit, which is like fine. You're cleaning up the area, you're doing good
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. You're taking the shit out, which is nice, but it's just like not for me, not
Yeah.
for this guy.
Yeah.
I'd rather fish for fish.
Yeah. Same.
All right, well, this brings us to our last story.
Ooh,
Biggin.
baby.
This is the one that I had the most information about and the one that kind of struck a little close to home for me on multiple levels. So this one is known as Lost Snowshoe Thompson's Gold Mine.
Hmm.
So John A. Snowshoe Thompson, he was born in Norway on April 30th, 1827, as John Torstein's son Rue. In 1837, he and his family moved to the U.S., where he bounced around the Midwest. Bounced around the Midwest. In 1851, Thompson drove some cattle to California, then where he started to mining gold near Hangtown, modern-day Placerville, near Kelsey Diggings, Coon Hollow, and Georgetown. He was able to save up enough to buy a few ranches. One is which most of the story takes place. He lived on 160 acres along the West Fork of the Carson River in the Diamond Valley near Markleeville, or Alpine County.
Okay.
During Thompson's time here, he earned the name Snowshoe. During
Lucky
the cold
him.
winter months, right? During the cold, frigid winter months, he would make the trip from Placerville across the snow-covered Sierra Nevada mountains to Mormon Station, aka Carson City,
Oh.
and back for a small fee. A lot of times he wasn't paid, but he would mail. He would carry mail across that to there.
Okay.
With two
That's what a
handmade
fucking
skis.
trek.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Dude, with 100 pounds of mail, too.
I didn't. 100 pounds of mail plus whatever you need for the journey, and he did it by
Yeah.
foot.
So, on snowshoes, but yeah, on foot. So skis, basically.
Okay.
So,
Are,
yeah, with two handmade wooden skis that many called snowshoes, but they were like cross-country skis.
mm-hmm.
And 100 or so pounds of mail in the back. He made this arduous journey twice a month.
Fucking twice every month.
Yeah.
That's
He would do this twice a month, and he did it from 1856 to May 15th, 1876. So he did it for 20 years, twice a month.
Jesus Christ, man. Like that's
Yeah,
hard as.
dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
Like it just like puts into perspective like how much like walking they actually did. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, like horses, carriages and shit, but not everybody could afford a horse or a
Mm-hmm.
carriage. So if you wanted to get somewhere and want to get shit done, you walked. And in the snow of the fucking Sierra Nevadas. Like, driving through that shit sucks.
Do you think he took some legs of the journey, like in some capacity on a horse or carriage in some way?
I think he had pack mules.
Okay.
And so, but I don't think he rode them.
Okay. So he's not. So he has pack mules. So he's not technically carrying everything, but that's still just like a crazy journey.
I don't think it was actually him that had the pack mules. I was getting confused. That was the one when we get to the main story of the lost stuff.
Okay.
It was the other guy that had the pack mules.
Okay. Still.
So yeah, but you know, he would do it with 100 pounds on his back and whatever he needed and just fucking go.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's nuts.
Back when men were men.
Yeah, when they had true grit.
When they fucking got shit done, built this country.
Built this goddamn country, and you won't take away our coal.
Won't take away my freedom of walking in the woods doing not shit but delivering mail.
You got them sissy little mail trucks. Why don't you take a walk hundreds of miles to Carson City in Nevada in the hard country?
And not get paid.
Yeah, and not get paid.
You just did it because of fucking, I'm bored. Don't want to be with the wife. She likes to talk. She likes to yammer that mouth. So yeah, he would do this till May 15th of 1876 when he got appendicitis and pneumonia and passed away. But during his 20 years of carrying the mail over the mountains, he did help many people that were traveling through. the dreadful Sierra Nevada Pass.
Hmm.
One such traveler was Jim Sisson. 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 Sisson.
Saison.
Saison. It looks like Saison. But he left Placerville in the winter of 1859 with 2 mules, enough supplies to get him home, and alleged 420 pounds of gold nuggets.
Whoa.
Oh,
420
what kind of gold nuggets we talking
Yeah, what
about?
are we talking about?
Yeah, some of them good moon rocks.
Hmm?
So as Jim made his way through the Sierras, he camped near Emerald Bay on Lake Tahoe. As Jim woke up in the morning, he would find his legs frozen solid.
Skill
And
issue.
this where things get a little bit hairy. So there are 2 different stories.
Okay.
One claims that Snowshoe showed up and told Jim that he had to leave the gold and ride the mule out to get help. Then Thompson dug a shallow hole for the 420 pounds of gold and left it somewhere there in Emerald Bay on the shores of Lake Tahoe somewhere.
Okay. All right.
Another version is that Jim was in a cabin for 12 days before Snowshoe found him and returned with a small rescue party. They made their way back to Carson City where Jim could have stashed the gold or taken it with him. The doctor in Carson City needed chloroform for the operation, so good old Snowshoe and his fucking balls of brass steel
Yeah.
made good on his name and made his way to Sacramento, a 90-mile journey by foot, which took him about 3 days each way. So 180 miles, 6 days.
Jesus, man. This guy is just a badass.
Also, during the winter.
yeah.
That's one thing that we were like kind of over glossing, is that literally it was during winter and he only had maybe fucking like 12 hours of light or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Just to get some fucking chloroform. No, nobody was like, let's just knock him out. let's just
Yeah.
let's just make him
This
eat
is also-
stuff till he like knocks himself out.
I totally forgot to fucking mention this part. So the 420 pounds of gold
Mm-hmm.
would have just been shy of $8,000 in 1859. In today's, it's over $300,000 in 2025.
300,000, dude. Fuck, that can get you almost a house in California.
That could maybe get you a truck.
Yes, just a truck.
Which is kind of telling you how lost in touch we are with a lot of shit nowadays.
Yeah, but yeah,
Like,
300,000.
that's-
That's still crazy money.
It's a great amount, but like you said, it could almost get you a house in California.
Yeah,
It can almost get you certain things, but it's not going to get you shit.
it'll it'll help, you know.
Yeah.
Or you go to a different state where house prices might be a little bit better.
They are. And if you can get like, at least if you get California pay in the state, then that would be bonus. But
Yeah.
if you're going to the state with that pay, it's going to be relatively the same.
If you want to leave California, you have to do it by foot, just like Snowshoe.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to prove to them other states that you ain't no pussy lib.
Yeah, if you want to take advantage of California money and then once you retire, you go to a different state, you gotta get out here like Snowshoe or you ain't no blue collar man. You ain't got
Yeah,
grit
you have
at
to
all.
fucking walk out of here. You have to fucking walk out with everything on your back.
Yeah, you got to start
man.
on the actual coastline and then walk.
You have to literally go to the coast and then walk to wherever you need to go. Have fun.
Yeah, enjoy
If
it.
you make it there, you get it. If not, sucks to be you.
Yeah, you got to start
Sucks
at
to
Drake's
suck.
Bay.
But yeah, so he, like we said, 180 miles, 6 days. It is said that Jim told Snowshoe to get the gold as a reward for saving his life. But the gold was never recovered.
Hmm.
Cash could be somewhere near Echo Summit and State Line, Nevada. During this time, though, Snowshoe also found a rock with gold in it on his Diamond Valley Ranch and took samples to one day return to it. Never did. His wife corroborated the story, saying it was somewhere between Horseshoe Canyon and Hawkins Peak in Alpine County.
Okay.
That one was probably one of my favorite ones, just because it like talked about the fucking hardness of the
Yeah.
fucking time, dude. Like, if you want to get shit done, you were walking in winter in
Yeah.
the Sierra Nevadas. Fuck that noise. We know one story that happened there, and they all died.
Yup. And also just like I always forget that I mean, he just walked just to bring mail to the town. That's
Yeah, and he didn't get paid for it. Like, some people would give him like certain things, but like he never got any kind of like monetary value. Like, there's speculation on that. So it's literally like he just did it, like, just because like he knew the people that he was by were like people that were out trying to support their families back home. So he's like, oh, I want to try to get them their shit and try to get them shit back so they can, have some kind of remembrance of home
mhm.
and stuff to like keep on doing what they're doing. Like, I get it. I've been there. It sucks. So
Yeah.
I want to do this for him since I have the most experience.
I wonder if he just got by with like doing that. He got by in the town with like under the table stuff where it's like, bro, give the dude a drink for free because he delivers the mail like twice a month.
It's had to, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I think like that's the only way that it would make sense and actually be like worthwhile.
Yeah. So it said how it was like the journey for him to go to Carson City was like 7 days, right?
From Sacramento to Carson City, it was 3 days each way.
3 days each way. Sacramento
Yeah,
to Carson City or Placerville
yeah.
to Carson City?
To do Sacramento,
Okay, okay.
because yeah, this is where he was going for the chloroform.
Okay. I meant
Because yeah,
before
oh
for the
before yeah,
mail.
so that one for the mail it was Placerville to Carson City.
Yeah. Jesus. So he was probably away from uh his homestead for quite a few days out of the month, doing it twice a month.
Yeah, because yeah, like he lived up in what, the Diamond Valley they were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Diamond Valley Ranch. So like he'd walk from there to Placerville, then to Carson City. So however much that is too, because I don't remember where Diamond Valley Ranch is.
If I remember correctly, Diamond Valley might be a little bit above El Dorado Hills.
Yeah, so
It's near.
that's quite a bit just to even get down there too.
Yeah. I don't. So I'm also trying to place where like the story is about the 420 pounds of gold, because they're also it's either on in Tahoe Bay or it's just like gone in general. You know?
Yeah, either yeah he found it and like went away with it, or it's still somewhere in Emerald Bay,
Yeah.
like somewhere there, like, which is yeah like kind of crazy to think about that there's just 420 pounds of gold that could just be buried out there.
Right. I wonder.
Like,
Uh, the prep. I mean, it's Lake Tahoe, so they probably don't want anybody just like digging around willy nilly, unless
right.
there's like actual evidence. You know?
Well, I mean, you could dig yourself a little hole, something small to get down. You don't have to fucking excavate a big ass thing.
Yeah, yeah. Just take like a be like, oh, I'm just taking soil samples and
Core
get one of
sample,
those
yeah.
boring devices.
Get a core sample real quick.
Yeah,
Just
that's what I was
fucking
trying to say. Core
find just
sample.
fucking just a thick 12-inch thing of fucking gold. Oh fuck!
Okay. That would be nuts.
Right. So that does bring us to the end. That was the last
Oh,
story I had.
that one was good. Snowshoe. Honestly, I feel like less of a man, less of a being in comparison to
Right,
Snowshoe. He did die of
dude.
pneumonia though, so that is bitch
Yeah,
made moves.
I survived pneumonia, so I'm already better than him.
Ah, shit. Yeah. There. Never mind. Snowshoe. Not so great. Not so cool. And
What can you do? You just walk. I could drive. It's only what, 34 miles, like 34 minutes, like an hour.
Yeah. What you
Only
doing?
an hour drive.
What are you doing? Wasting your time walking, dumbass. Take Highway 80, bro. Get an Uber or
Yeah.
something.
Get a fucking Uber. You got enough gold in the hills.
Yeah, dude.
Get yourself something.
Just maybe call USPS, because I don't know why you're not getting mail to your house, but
He's
maybe,
too far out there.
yeah.
It's too far. He's a quarter mile from his mailbox. We don't go that far.
Yeah, no, that one's cool. You're right. That one, I do like it because there is like more dates, more, it seems like there was more record keeping on this guy.
Yeah, like there's definitely like that little bit of like self legend around him. Same
Hmm.
thing with like Sir Francis Drake. Like I could literally do an entire episode just on him.
I
Like
could.
that's like I didn't want to go too deep into him because I could. So I was just like, you know what, this guy, and like I said, it's kind of hits close to home. It's kind of close to where we were.
Hmm.
We've been through that pass many times.
Yeah.
So it's like he walked along where we drove many times. So it's kind of crazy to think about. And it's like we were up in them hills too, like
Yeah,
fucking going to play disc golf.
we
So it's
were.
like we were right by it. So
That's
it's
an
crazy to think about that we were close.
that's another reason why I was like getting interested in like all the old roads and stuff because I want to know like Highway 80 obviously treks up the same like carriage or stagecoach roads and stuff, but the actual like old Highway 80, like I was trying to figure out where like where it where the stagecoach road is, like in comparison to where Highway 80 is now. And I want to know like did it follow it exactly, this and that, but
I'm pretty sure it followed it damn near closely because if
yeah.
that's how like I think they like knew where to build it.
Yep.
It's like because they're like if stagecoaches can make it, then it's going to be easy for cars to make it.
Mhm. I think there's obviously going to be some spots where it deviated because they're like that would be too
Now,
difficult, but
yeah,
still, um,
because it's the immigrant trail, right? That's what they called it,
yeah,
or immigrant pass.
hmm, yeah, especially through like the Donner Lake area, like you can go. I believe it's might be technically the old Highway 80, but I'm not too sure. But it's a really nice scenic route. Just if you get off 80 for like it's just like a 15-minute drive through it, but really cool. But yeah, these old roads, figuring out where they used to be would be like super cool to find out also because then you know where these old timers are going like on their daily commutes, and
Yeah,
that's where they're gonna go off those trails to like stash gold and stuff.
yeah. No, that wouldn't be too bad of a little deep dive we can go into is like finding some of these old like trails and roads,
Yeah, old
go and
abandoned
record them.
roads.
Dude, it's kind of cool. Like it's like old Route 66
Oh yeah.
and stuff. Like how it's pretty much dead now, and like there's nothing going off of it because the interstate that bypassed it, like it's almost just like a dead road now. That'd
That
be fun to kind of do something on.
I would love to do like road trips on like these old roads and stuff. Like one that I want to
Overnight
do,
camping,
huh?
little overnight camping.
Yeah, exactly. Like do like like the Pacific Coast Highway would be really cool. Doing the entire highway up and Route 66. I mean, it's legendary. It's like there's a lot of history behind it. It would be cool
Yeah,
to you know put wheels on it and have a fun trip.
no, I'd be sick, dog.
Yeah. Uh,
So
go for it.
go ahead. I
Uh,
was like, I'm just gonna wrap this up, bring it up to an ending. Is there anything you wanted to add to it?
I had one. It's not any like actual like story of the past, but it was a it was a story told to me by some guy in Oroville. Um, I want
Oh,
to. It was kind of interesting. So a few years back, we went fishing in Oroville. We were going salmon fishing at like the spillway. And so if ever you fish there, it sucks. It's a bunch of dudes lined up in a line, just casting out over each other's lines and letting it float through the current of the spillway, just trying to snag salmon because it's legal, but it's a stupid way to catch salmon. Um, so I was kind of done for the day because I fucking hated fishing that way. And it was also, I don't like fishing around a bunch of other fucking fishermen because, it's a pissing contest. But,
Yeah.
anyways, uh, this one, I was up on the bank just kind of chilling, watching my wife fish. And this old dude whose son was in the water was we just started talking it up. The son like snagged up a couple of salmon but could never reel it in. So this old dude was telling me about how like, oh yeah, we come out here every year and like we all at least catch one, and or we try to limit out, and then like, it's a whole event for us. I'm like, oh, that's sick, man. He's like, and like his son came from like far away or something. But then he was telling me, he's all like, we were talking about where we lived, and he started telling me about how he lived. He wouldn't explain it, but he kept saying he was like around in the area, like Oroville to Chico area, like a large stretch. But he wouldn't give me
Yeah.
exactly what city. But then he was telling me like, yeah, I actually the property I bought actually had an old mine on it. I was like, "Oh wow, that's cool." He's like, "Yeah, but we didn't know it at first. So, but like throughout the years, the kids will come over and everybody would like when the kids were growing up, they would play, but they would always bring back these crystals that were like very cool, like." And he was telling me about how they sparkled and like different than any other crystal he ever saw. And so he's told me, oh, like they kept finding these crystals all over the property in like this specific area. And finally he like went out searching because he was like, there's so many of these crystals, like where's the source of these crystals? He found he calls it an abandoned mine, but it was technically a cave. But I guess it just had all these crystal formations inside, and so much so that like he he like would he got a chunk of it, and he told me he brought it to a like a like a like a mineral expert, and
Mm.
I guess it was what he told me, hearsay, that
Yeah.
it was a new type of crystal called like the scorpion crystal, and that
All right.
it's never been seen before until now, and that he brought it to a crystal show and it made the front cover of this like mineral or crystal show magazine, like this and that. And he showed me a picture of it, and then he was like, you know what, actually I have one, let me show it to you. I have a bunch sitting in the glove box and on the dash of my van. And he brought it down, and it was like a crazy looking crystal. But he told what he was telling me was that he doesn't work anymore. All he does is when they need money, he'll go down to the cave, chip off some of the crystal, like get a good chunk, and then sell it off to like auctions and stuff. And he would make hundreds of thousands of dollars, he said. And
Fucking anything on the scorpion crystal, my dude.
I know, because I looked it up afterwards. I was like, what? Like, because I was super like taken away
It
by the
sounds super
story.
fucking cool.
Yeah, it's super
Yeah.
rad. And he was very much avoiding telling me the location of his like property.
Oh, of
So
course, because he's like, I don't want this motherfucker coming to steal my scorpion crystals.
crystals.
Don't worry about it.
I like that. You stay away from my scorpion crystals.
I need some Wawa.
No, that was just
Dude,
that was a cool story the dude told me, and I was just like kind of enamored by it, but never.
I was enamored by it just now.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking dope. Like, that's what we kind of wish to hear is that one old guy at the fucking fishing spot or just like sitting at a bar, just like, there's some gold in them there hills.
Yeah.
And it's right in my backyard. I've seen it.
Yeah. So
Do you want to know where it's at?
yeah, after we finished fishing and he took off, we followed him, but we lost him in the hills. Like we couldn't find him, and then we got a flat tire. We were stuck out there.
Fuck. And then Sasquatch came and fucked me in front of my wife.
Damn it.
I was just a big cuck that trip. It sucked. All right. So to wrap it up, you ever dreamed on embarking on an adventure that could lead to untold discoveries? Treasure hunting is a perfect journey for you. It's not just about the potential riches, but the thrill of unearthing something lost to time. Whether it was a hidden artifact, a long lost shipwreck, or a buried chest of coins. The world is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. With each clue you follow, part of history itself. Beyond the treasure, your reward is the sense of adventure, the excitement of the chase, and the satisfaction of solving ancient puzzles. Whether you're a seasoned explorer or a curious beginner, treasure hunting offers an endless opportunity for discovery, self-growth, and unforgettable experiences. But as you embark on this journey, it is crucial that you respect the land and its history. Always be mindful of local laws, preserve the environment, and ensure that your pursuit doesn't harm or disturb delicate ecosystems or cultural sites. Remember, the greatest treasures aren't just the ones you find, but the respect and care you show for the world around you. So grab a map, gather your gear, and step into the unknown. You never know what hidden gems you might uncover while helping to preserve the past for future generations. I want to thank you all for coming with me today on this little journey. I hope you all liked it. I do.
I loved it. This was super fun. Yeah. This has been the A2J podcast. I was your co-host. This was your host, John.
Woo woo! Upgraded!
We will see you next